You want to know why?
You have a new CPU and new motherboard.
So what? But the operating, the OS is still communicating. It's like, hey, I remember you. I have your shit. I can operate sometimes.
The OS isn't recognizing your new hardware properly.
Yeah, it's not.
But why is it recognizing it now? It just goes stupid in another 8 hours.
Because it's unstable. That's why you have to reinstall the Windows on top of your new hardware.
Reinstall
what the
Windows.
issue?
All this complaining when you have the fucking, you know how to fix the problem.
Exactly.
And you're just complaining instead. Like, why are you wasting your time?
Here's the problem you're having, Smooth.
Why?
One, you still have the old motherboard drivers on your hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you probably don't have the new motherboard drivers on your drive.
Yeah, he probably did.
And that's why you're getting driver conflicts. So the simple solution is whenever you make massive hardware changes, especially the motherboard. If you change a graphics card or a CPU, you might not need to reformat. If you're changing a motherboard, you damn well better reformat.
Yeah, that's the heart and brain of your you're changing the heart and brain of your computer, and you're wondering why there's problems. Like, bro,
everything plugs into the motherboard. You change.
You gotta take a class on the upgrade, right?
You don't even need to take a class.
It's on YouTube.
Listen. It's time because I know Smooth has a lot of bottled up rage towards a lot of these PCMR and these newborn PCMR kids comparing a fucking RTX 3090 to the damn Series X and trying to down
to a $500 box.
To a $500 box. You got all these.
They're comparing the 3070s.
Even 3070.
Hold on, it's $500 now.
3070 is $500.
No, right? I mean the Xbox.
I don't know.
We don't know the price, bro.
But they're saying. But here's the thing, right? They're saying that these graphics cards, which we obviously knew Ampere was going to well outperform the next gen consoles. Who the fuck didn't know that? This shit was leaked more than a week ago, right? We all knew this, right? But we still had people on Twitter, right, coming out of nowhere saying, "Oh, the RTX 3000 series are making the Xbox irrelevant. The Xbox is already outdated."
Didn't you hear what Digital Foundry said?
Okay. Okay.
My thing is, we understand the performance is there. We know this, but it's the convenience of, hey, I can spend $500 and just hook up a console, right? Now, obviously, no. Let me finish my point. Obviously, if you already own a PC and you're making the decision of, hey, do I spend $500 on the RTX 3070 or buy an Xbox? I think most people will lean towards upgrading their graphics card. Yes,
and that's what people are saying, though.
But you have these other people, especially these console fanboys, like the PlayStation fanboys, saying Xbox is irrelevant because the new graphics card. What about PlayStation then? That makes no fucking sense.
All right.
Hold on. Are you trolling me?
I'm not trolling you. These other guys are trolling everybody else. I'm relaying to you what they're saying.
Coach Boy, this is why you don't fuck around with that part of the section.
You're saying, if Xbox is irrelevant, how come PlayStation isn't? The same reason that Nintendo isn't. Because you can only find certain games on PlayStation and Nintendo.
Okay, we understand the games.
Actually, you can emulate
the games argument, right? We understand the games argument.
That's the only argument.
But in terms of hardware, obviously the hardware well outperforms both Xbox Series X and PS5. They're not saying that. They're just saying it outperforms Xbox Series X. Hold on.
You know what it is? It's because prior to this, a lot of people were saying, well, not a lot of people, right?
You're gonna say what?
A few people were saying, right? A few fanboys were saying on the Xbox side about how the Series X is comparable to a 2080 or a 2080 Ti.
Exactly, a high-end PC.
And I've always said that shit was crazy.
It's a 2080 Super, and Digital Foundry came out and said it's comparable to a 2080 Super, and that's a fact.
In one game, though, in one particular game,
okay,
and they didn't say 2080.
Plus, I already told you on Discord. Look at the fucking numbers. The 5700 XT has 40 CUs on RDNA 1, right? That's on par with the 2070 and the 2070 Super. Is that not facts?
Y'all are overthinking this.
Okay.
The main reason why they said that it's obsolete is the simple fact that every game on Xbox is on that Microsoft makes is on the PC. Okay. That's the only point.
Yeah.
That's so
right. So PC gamers don't have to buy Xbox. So
right.
3 million.
Not only that,
So 3 million people won't buy Xbox. I'm so stoked on that.
Okay, but all right, let me get into like the nitty gritty. But like
real quick, like you see Microsoft games topping the Steam sales charts every week.
Yeah, but
how
many people though? How many people is that? How many?
Sure it's more than 3 million.
I mean, they've already said that Sea of Thieves has sold millions on Steam already, and it's only been out
about the
month.
concurrent players. They ain't
they're talking about sales.
No. They said sold. I think it was like
5 million. Let's go 5 million.
Because this is on Steam.
That's still a minority, dog. You
gotta pay for the game on Steam.
Like
Game Pass on Steam.
Okay, so that could have been 5 million.
It's never going to be the majority.
That could have been Xbox. So that could have been 5 million by Xbox.
Here's the thing.
So Bond is just hating.
He's
always just bashing.
I'm being smart. That's 5 million that could have been buying Xbox.
I've been saying this for weeks, though. It's just the fact that everybody wants to hop on the narrative when it's convenient. Yeah. I asked the same question 3 weeks ago to Kiss Move. I said, if you own a PC, right, and all the games are coming to Xbox, or coming to PC, right? All the Xbox games are coming to PC. What would you rather do? Upgrade your PC or buy a new system? Now everybody wants to hop on this fucking narrative now that Ampere's launched. This shit was leaked a week ago. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's all about.
So I just want to say. All right. So like literally nothing has changed. PC will always be more powerful.
Right.
Like nothing has changed from this week to last week. It's just a lot of people are talking shit because not Microsoft, but just the console fanboys that were pushing power. We got owned.
Facts.
Yeah, they're like power, 12 teraflops. We match high-end PCs. Like now they just look dumb. That's honestly why I was trolling, because
I get it.
That's why I was trolling.
And that these consoles were going to be comparable to high-end PC cards is retarded. I think
consoles will never match high-end PCs ever again.
It's just the same way as people saying, somebody saying, well, how my 3090 is way more powerful than the PS5. Motherfucker, that shit is $1,500.
It's like saying the sky's fucking blue. No shit, we know that. We know that. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, and that 3090 is that it's a Titan in disguise.
It is.
It's a literal Titan.
A 3090.
That was the first thing that I thought. I was like, okay, this is the Titan. Then.
Yeah, so that shit's a Titan. If you shouldn't even buy it, if you're just gaming, you should not buy it. It's a workstation.
That's less than 1% of the user base that's going to be even able to afford that. Like that's
absolutely.
I want to go back to.
We've seen the charts, Nick. You've seen the Steam hardware surveys as well. We've seen it. Where did the majority of gamers game on? They game on the 60 or 70 series cards, even 50 series cards.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to go
back
majority.
To
but what do the majority of Xbox gamers game on? Not the Series, not the Xbox One X.
That's true.
But as far as the NVIDIA, I think what they showed is actually very impressive, especially especially the pricings of these like cards or whatever.
Yeah,
they're actually like, and to me it's like,
AMD's fucked.
It's funny. I just think it's funny, right? That people, I hope people who bought the 2080 Ti are feeling salty.
They're selling their shit right now.
Dude, they should have been sold it. The value is going up.
And the
value is gone. They should have been sold it.
Yeah,
but
should have been sold that shit.
But the performance of 2080 Ti, which is crazy for that price.
Yeah. So can I speak to this real quick?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So one of the best things. So like right now, my daughter has my rig. Like right when the COVID stuff happened, she's like, "Man, let me get your PC." I'm like, "Okay." I thought it was just going to be a couple of months, and here we are in September. It's still going. I'm like, "Okay, I'm just going to build me another rig." But here's the thing: I am happy that the 2080 Ti prices are what they are, and that the prices are coming down. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what none of y'all say. It's always the same problem. Every game on PC is designed for a minimum spec, and then they add graphical punch to cover up. Like we'll give you flashy graphics and frame rates, but the design is still 10 years ago. Now that these cards are so
because you know
the likelihood
most of the games are multiplex as well.
The likelihood that the minimum spec can finally be raised to something decent, hopefully include an SSD, is one of the best things that can happen for every gamer, console,
everybody.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, that's PC gamers should be happy because that consoles, right? That these next gen consoles are gonna be standard with SSD because now that's gonna raise up the
that's what I remember the last time time I was on. I think it was the last time I was on this podcast. I literally said I'm excited for consoles to come out so we can have a better fucking minimum.
Facts.
Well, no,
I have all SSDs in my PC. Like, I'm ready.
Better minimum.
You can get a 2080 Ti for $300-400. That is what is the good news.
Yeah, that is incredible.
Now, all of these people that were, they would go for the lower end card because they didn't want to cash out a couple of stack for a card. Now they can spend $300-400. And they can get a 2080 Ti, and the minimum spec can take just a generational leap. And so instead of going from just like a 1060 to like a 2070, they can jump all the way up to a 2080 Ti. And that is very good.
$500 for that, and you get better ray tracing. I think NVIDIA said about 2 times the ray tracing performance you're going to get inside the Ampere cards versus previous generation. And ray tracing is going to be standardized now because all developers are going to build their games around ray tracing because next-gen consoles have it. Obviously, we've had the generation of Turing where some developers got used to it, so now it's going to be more standardized across all developers. So we're going to see much more ray tracing implementation. But I think the biggest takeaway from Ampere is RTX IO. And I'm not sure if you remember this, Optimus, when we were reading the article about GPU Direct from NVIDIA's developers website, how they had the blog talking about GPU Direct, how they're trying to move data from NVMe over Fabric, from network interface cards directly into GPU storage and have very low latency between that communication between those devices and have less CPU overhead. Now they're bringing that to consumers as well. So that's even more of a benefit for people that have faster storage because they're talking about, hey, for you to fully utilize RTX IO, you need a faster SSD to be able to move those assets from storage directly to your GPU memory without even having to interface with your CPU. So they're using the tensor cores in a much more advanced way now, as opposed to the way they were using it before.
And they're coming out with
the tensor cores,
these NVMe SSDs. I think it's like 7 gigs of speed or whatever. Some people are like, "Oh, see, look, all that talk about PS5 SSD, the most advanced in the world." But if people paid attention to what Cerny was saying, he was saying by the end of this year or by the time the PS5 come out, there was already going to be, off the shelf parts that will rival the PS5 SSD or exceed it.
Yeah, and IO,
absolutely.
Technologies. And the interesting thing I found about the presentation about Ampere as well was how Jensen referenced how Microsoft is using direct storage API on Xbox Series X and how they're going to be using that same API inside PC as well. So that was an interesting tidbit right there as well.
Yeah, the
biggest thing that nobody is talking about is the DLSS, and that is not anywhere near enough attention. That is the real game.
Yeah, that's a game changer. That's a game changer right there.
But the thing is, we've seen DLSS in action. I'm more interested in RTX IO because we've never had this in graphics cards.
Yeah, so we've seen demos of DLSS. We haven't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And DLSS is self-explanatory. Like, it's going to get better over time because NVIDIA literally has a supercomputer built and trained to make DLSS better over time as it begins to understand all these different video games and how they improve performance without having that you incur the cost on the performance in your GPU. You just offload it to the tensor cores. That's it.
Yo,
AI take over.
Fuck Disney and Star Wars. I had to remove my upload. I got about 30 different copyright claims due to Disney music and Star Wars music.
Oh my god!
I'm not even gonna try to edit it out. Forget it.
Yo. And I just gotta say, this is NVIDIA. You would think their competitor, their direct competitor from that video, you would think that they're completely going at AMD's next, but it just feels like they're literally going straight at consoles next.
Yeah, they are.
They're going straight at consoles next.
AMD is not their competition. They own over 80% of the market.
They're going at both because there's no leaks of RDNA 2 right now. and AMD is being very, very quiet about RDNA. They don't want another Vega situation to happen where there's so much leaks coming up. There's so much hype for Vega. If it ain't Vega, I don't want it, and then it comes out as a disappointment. Like, from what I've been hearing from what tech YouTubers have been covering about RDNA 2, they're really focused on making sure that their drivers where 5700 XT drivers are right now, where 5700 XT drivers are more mature right now. They're trying to have that same level of performance for RDNA 2 at launch. And you gotta remember, like, if you look at the Xbox Series X die, only 80% of it is GPU. The rest of it's memory, the Zen 2 cores, everything like that. So if you take that and put that,
it's gonna be
and have a
60 gonna be much bigger.
Yeah, but AMD has like the better CPUs right now, right? Like they're
way better than Intel right now. But if we take RDNA 2 out of a console, right? We've seen that it's at 2.2 gigahertz on PS5, which is pretty fucking fast. Most people have to overclock to reach that speed. That's the boost clocks for RDNA 2. You take that 52 CU die out of the Xbox Series X, right? Unconstrained. That's a 2080 Ti right there. And then you're obviously going to have high-end RDNA 2 cards as well. So you're going to have a 64 CU card, maybe even an 80 CU card. Like,
wait, what? Say again?
All right. Xbox Series X is around a 2080 Super in performance. There's been plenty of indications pointing towards that, right? If you take RDNA 2 out of the Xbox Series X die, and it's on its own die with GPU, with like desktop cooling, you're around the 2080 Ti performance.
I thought you said the series. I thought you said what fucking Smooth said.
No. I was
about to say, like, bro, what?
You take that GPU out of the Series X and you put it into a desktop form with better cooling and more clocks, because the Xbox Series X die is only at the fixed clocks at 1800 megahertz.
It's fixed. Yeah, it's consoles, but
yeah.
I was gonna say, I agree with that, and besides, I still don't know about that 2080 Super shit though. I agree with the latter half.
How does the Xbox Series X not perform as well as a 2080 Super? That's 2-year-old.
We don't know.
They went hands on with the system.
Yeah, and they talked about one game that performed similar to a 2080.
So you don't know because of what?
It's not out.
It's not out. We don't have benchmarks. We don't have hard analysis.
We don't even really know what
Okay.
We don't have hard analysis.
Wait and see.
But y'all believe without real time, like, what did we see on these new cards that y'all?
Don't get it. Wait. Don't get it twisted, bro. Like, I still want to see benchmarks of the new cards.
Energy,
absolutely.
Man.
Yeah, but there's gonna be.
I absolutely want to see benchmarks of the new cards. There's no question.
Right before they come out, there's gonna be benchmarks all over YouTube.
Like
Digital Foundry did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different games.
They didn't give you hard numbers. They said it in the video. We can't give you numbers on performance right now. All they said was they gave you a percentage, which is very vague.
Exactly.
Yeah, the 3090 is 40% better than the 2080 Ti, which I believe, but I want to see it in actual games where people are showing me, all right, we pair this with this CPU and this much RAM and this SSD. Okay, what's the frames per second we're getting with everything maxed out? What's the frames per second when you turn down settings? I want to see it.
I'll say the only thing that we can take from it right now is look at how the difference between a 2080 and 2080 Ti in performance. Mm-hmm. And then look at the percentage differences from a 2080 to a 3080 in performance-wise that they showed. That's the only thing that we can take. What a 2080 Ti is 25 to 30% faster than a 2080.
But here's also the thing.
And the 3080 was on average 70% faster.
The real-time performance is always different.
That's what I'm saying.
Depends on all components inside of your PC. So you can't really just go by.
I understand that, but I'm saying from what we can tell, because a 2080 is statistically 25 to 30% slower on average on every game. Right, so I'm just saying, if a 3080 is 170% of a 2080, then one can assume that it's at least 20% faster at minimum to 2080
Ti. 2080 Super when it has a GPU that's faster and more powerful than a 5700 XT.
But it's a console though.
What do you mean? It's on the newer architecture with a more efficient process.
Here's the console. But here's the problem, though. You can bench anything on a PC by just uploading or installing software on it. We don't have consoles. The game has to be developed and tailored for it. We can't just be like, oh, let me throw a game here.
Yeah, I just need to see this, but you just keep stating this. I'm like,
what do you think?
What
do you think, Optimus?
I gave you numbers in the chat.
I mean, I think all of these types of conversations are pointless. Like
yeah, it is
never about specs. It's never about one component. It's always about the synergy of the entire system. But beyond that, it is always about the dev, skill, talent, and resources. And you can take Naughty Dog and give them 1.2 teraflops and put them up against anything you want to. And the games is what matters. And the games are
we're not even talking about that though.
Yeah, but that's all that matters.
No, we're talking about performance.
The point is the performance is nothing without the games. You build these things to run games, and you want quality games.
Okay, but we're talking about performance though.
And I'm saying that's a meaningless conversation. I said that at the start. You can have
the PC guys.
We're talking about the GPUs launching. What do you mean? What?
We're not.
We're talking about the topic on hand is the new 30 series cards.
Man, I'm sick of you. That is not true. The conversation.
What are you talking about? The conversation was on the bro. Were you asleep?
Dude, if you stop interrupting people, you could hear what I'm talking about. The conversation isn't about the card. The conversation is about the card versus the console. And the point of all of that is for games. So the conversation of performance and what hardware does is meaningless. You can have
the original topic of on hand here is the 30 series launch.
It is not
the video. That was
that versus consoles and people trying to say it's killing the Xbox, and you explained very eloquently why
that was the original. That was the original. Okay,
nigga, you just said
we never talked about games. We never brought up games once. You randomly. I feel like you fell asleep.
Can you hear? I said
you brought up games.
Conversations are meaningless. Therefore, I went to the topic that really matters.
All right, cool. We're gonna stay on this topic though. All right, but back to the original topic. Like, all right, so I think when people got like the original 20 series cards, they were really disappointed because they were pushing new technology more than anything.
Because there was no games. That's always the disappointment. Because there was no games. Wow, I have a new card, but I can't afford any games.
They were disappointed because it wasn't much difference from the 10 series cards because NVIDIA were pushing new technology with ray tracing.
And a lot of y'all gave a lot of y'all bent over to NVIDIA and gave them money for 20
with no game
cards.
Man. Okay, Optimus. No one cares. That's not the topic. But yeah, like I think the 30 series seems like such a big advancement because the 20 series was such a letdown because it was new technology. With new technology, the first generation of things usually are not.
Wasn't the 20 series just the 10 series with ray tracing?
Yeah, that's basically
it was like 20% better rasterization than just ray tracing. That's it.
Yeah.
On paper, they did perform better than the previous generation, but it wasn't a ginormous leap like we're seeing right now with Ampere. Ampere is pretty impressive. The fact that they can have a top tier card game at 8K 60 with DLSS is pretty impressive.
I never saw that coming. I don't think anybody did.
And the 20 series and the 20 series was
first.
The
4K is done. 4K is conquered. I don't know what this narrative about. Oh, it's hard to game at 4K. Like 4K is not hard to game at right now.
I understand that, but it's like, we just got it. It just feels like we just got into 4K and already 8K.
No. Console just got into 4K.
Console.
The majority of consoles just got into 4K.
And here's the best.
One console did 4K, so I'll say that.
The 1X.
One console.
The majority of
consoles. Don't do that, Smooth. Don't do that.
That's not true.
Better than that dog shit.
But here's the better thing.
Consoles do not do 4K.
No, I said one console consistently did 4K.
No, not consistently.
Yeah, consistent.
Why are you lying to
4K.
yourself,
No,
bro?
it
That's
wasn't.
Why do I need to lie,
No,
sir?
it wasn't.
Why do I need to
Bro,
lie, sir?
It wasn't.
I watch
consistent-
like 90% of the digital.
Yo,
content
Smooth.
videos.
Smooth. Talk about that 800p checkerboarding upscale.
Yeah, right. No, 800. No, 1800.
1800p.
We should keep
Yo,
that.
nah, these guys are so like
Bro.
fucking like you know dick down to fucking like checkerboard and PlayStation shit that they're literally writing off real 4K for DLS because that's all. DLS
I guarantee you, if it
is
wasn't
more
for
impressive
digital
than
foundry,
checkerboard.
you
Say
wouldn't
what?
know the difference between checkerboard and native.
I know the difference between checkerboard
I
and native.
guarantee you, if
I
it
probably won't
wasn't
know
for
the difference
digital
between
foundry, your eyes
DLS
would-
and native, but I'll know the difference between checkerboard and native. Checkerboard doesn't look nowhere near native.
You know what the best part is though, because you're talking about these PC advancements and everything.
Yeah.
You know, DDR5 came out 2 months ago, right?
Wait, it came out. Wait,
yeah. So expect like
I know.
Isn't DDR5 in
wait,
production?
Wait, it's not. There's no.
It's out, but that means it's the consumer level is not out.
Yeah,
It
like
came
we don't
out-
have consumers yet.
It came out
Oh,
2 months ago, so expect within the next
I know
year.
I know Micron finished making their
Yeah.
DDR5. Like they're done. Like they have it.
Yeah, it's gonna
DDR
definitely be out.
DDR5 at
They're going through all the trials.
DDR5 at 6400. Ooh, so expect
Yeah,
that
it's
by,
definitely gonna be out by next year.
Yep, expect that by the end of next year.
That's the
Probably see
bleeding edge.
Either Zen 3 or Zen 4.
But
So between that and GDDR6, these consoles, you know what the really sucky part about these advanced computers is, though?
what?
It means we're going to be getting more 30 frames per second console games.
Nah.
But
Yeah.
that was gonna happen regardless.
No, but now it's
Regardless of anything,
Nah, you'll get more
based on the
60.
devs.
Shout out to Emmanuel A1. He says for $2, Optimus, a OG teacher, whack guest, some respect.
Oh shit.
You're a whack guess. He's not a panel member. The fuck? What?
because look, they're going to be
I don't
trying
like
to
that.
keep up with graphics and what the PC is doing, so they're going to have to lower the frame rate.
It depends. I think it would be a game by game case.
Depends on the game.
A lot of the single player games, Sony in their first party, they're gonna push fidelity really hard. They're gonna push the design of their games really hard as well. So
They're the ones
gonna
that are
focus
pushing
on
60
30.
frames. Sony's the one that's been pushing 60 frames on their first party games.
Wait,
Who?
wait, Balance. Since when?
Spider-Man and Ratchet are both 60.
But I mean, well,
60 modes.
Gran Turismo is also 60 as well.
yeah,
Mm.
but all right.
120.
Let me.
That's old. That's old for a racer, though.
Yeah,
Bond-
no, I'm just saying, though.
like
They late to the party on that one.
No,
Gran
Gran Turismo's always been 60.
All right, but Bond, let me put it to you this way though. Like, didn't
Gran Turismo
Microsoft?
was.
I don't know who. I guess maybe Phil Spencer. And I understand he lies a lot.
No, I was about to
But
say.
he said he did say that they're gonna target 60 FPS all of their
Yeah.
their
No,
They're gonna target more
they did
more
not
60.
say that.
they,
No,
I
Aaron
don't think
Greenberg.
that-
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
their target.
they-
That's the first party.
they were hyping up
and that was
performance,
that was the
performance.
first thing that we heard of that. Whereas
Yeah.
Sony were very quiet for a long time about any performance of anything.
Yes.
But-
Well, yeah. Sony
I
had the
would
brute
put that
force
at
60
least
frames per
Microsoft
second
was
modes.
on that.
But you know, Phil Spencer also said 4K 60 uncompromised with the Scorpio. We saw how
I
that
understand. I understand that. I
Yeah,
Phil
said
Spencer
wasn't
actually
gonna
did
come.
not say that. He did not say that.
But hold on.
He
Here's
did
the
not
thing.
say
Hold
that.
on. Let me say something. Here's the thing, man. You're like the whole thing with consoles, right? And I feel like UPC, some of UPC dudes need to give at least some type of credit for these next gen consoles. At least we are getting more 60 FPS options, right? At least we starting to see what's
That's what I
Sony.
want to say.
And not only that, there are some games that are actually going to have a 120 FPS option on a console, which is crazy for a console. You know what I mean? In my opinion, like, I think that's good shit.
What have I been saying
to do it.
for a while? I've been saying they buy consoles for pretty graphics. That's what they do. They sell you on screenshots and trailers. The majority, the
That's why
average
they're 30
consumer
FPS.
does not care about 60 FPS. When somebody walks into GameStop or when they walk into a Best Buy, wherever they do, or they're on the PlayStation
Right.
store, they don't say, "Oh, Uncharted 4 is 30 FPS. I'm not playing that game."
Right.
They don't do that.
I know, and I get that, and this is why I always said from the beginning, I don't mind if they want to push graphics, right, and have these games
Yeah.
at 30 FPS, as long as they have an option for 60.
Yeah, for performance.
We're getting
we see that with Spider-Man. Yeah, we're starting to see that more.
Yeah.
I still think that a good amount of their first party though, like if they really want to push the fidelity of the game on PS5, even Xbox, we see it with isn't the Medium? Wait, no,
the Medium isn't
Medium
a first-party studio though.
Well, they're not first party.
That's third party, so you can't count them. Just like
you can't control what they do.
Yeah, but like I feel like a lot of these developers who really want to push the fidelity of the next gen consoles, they'll sacrifice that frame rate to get better and more prettier graphics at 4K. So
yeah, Demon Souls having a 60 FPS mode is really important.
As long as games like Call of Duty and
my thing is, why does it need a mode? Why isn't that the standard performance of
I just told you why. We just told you why, because they want to, like Jay was saying, right? They want to push graphics.
But those games are naturally ugly to begin with. Like there's not what game is naturally ugly style game.
What
graphically Souls games aren't that pretty.
Okay, but this is a remake on the PlayStation 5.
So it's still gonna be ugly.
So this shit, no, it's not. This shit gonna look crazy.
But those games should be 60
frames. Look at the screenshot.
Those are gameplay important games. Like why wouldn't that be the original target?
So what about Assassin's Creed?
When you add ray tracing and all that other stuff.
Valhalla's 30
FPS. I have a question, bro. Have you not seen the screenshots of
Demon Souls? That's what I'm saying.
Have you not seen the screenshots?
That shit look
it's
crazy.
a pretty game. It's a pretty game.
I'm just saying, the games are naturally ugly, so a remaster of it, like
with
60 frames should be the original target. Why target like?
They don't look ugly on my PC, Smooth.
They're not. Okay, Smooth.
You're playing on PC. I'm just saying
they're not aesthetically present. They're not aesthetically pleasing because of their like environments and this doom and gloom. But as far as like the technical aspects of it and like what's going on screen, and then they're gonna have
three versions of your stream up right now.
Really?
All right. And yeah, you do. Yo, Smooth, you have
They're
to
both live.
You have to realize two different things, Smooth. You have to realize two different things.
Wait. How do I have two versions up? Didn't the other one end because
No, they're gone. No, it's gone. Actually, wait, it still shows us up, but I don't know. That's weird.
I don't know.
The newer one has the most viewers, so we're good.
Yeah, just let it rock. But
I wonder if it's like looping. Okay.
No, it's not looping.
All right, but you gotta realize two things, Smooth. One, it's not even made by the original devs. It's made by Bluepoint.
Yeah.
And
they're the master of remasters.
Yeah, and they're not the masters. But like if you look at Shadow of the Colossus, it looks beautiful compared to its previous state.
Yo,
and,
dude,
if you looked at the Demon Souls, the screenshots, it looks really fucking good.
Like it's like huge, like a huge like.
The Bluepoint know what they're doing with the remasters, man.
Yeah. I'll say they know graphically what they're doing.
But it doesn't matter. Like the 60 FPS mode, it's like that's what people like. I see people saying all the time that you know they don't care if these console games are 30 as long as they give them like a 1440p 60. You know what I mean? Like people say that all the time, and then now when you give it to them, they're like, "Well, how come it can't be?" Like bro, you're getting the mode. You're getting the 60 FPS mode. If that's how you want to play it, then play it. You know what I mean? Like look at Ratchet and Clank. Like all that shit that's going on, like they're really pushing graphics and shit like that. So when you put it on that 60 FPS mode, some of that fidelity is gonna go down with it.
Like telling me Ratchet and Clank at 60 frames, that's impressive. Demon Souls, I expected to be 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be a mode. I think it
also
should be
Miles Morales because that's an open world game.
Yeah. Those are impressive, but Demon Souls, I thought that would be the target anyway for a game like that.
Hey man, as long as first person shooter games and just third person shooter games are running at 30, I'm fine. But that's disgusting to play a shooter game at 30 FPS. That makes no sense.
What we're trying to tell you, Smooth, is that Demon Souls is they're building it from the ground up for the PS5, and they're like the graphical quality and fidelity is like a huge leap.
Yeah,
you know
like
I mean?
you look at any of the.
If it's the remaster, then I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, like, I think I can like post some screenshots. Like there's comparison screenshots of like the same location in Demon Souls. And,
I'm not interested. I mean, it is what it is. We can like try to finish.
Honestly, I don't think Horizon Forbidden West is gonna have a 60 option. I think that shit's gonna be like 30.
I agree.
For a big ass open world like that and the graphical fidelity that they're going for, that shit's gonna be fucking 4K 30.
Hate to see it. Wait for the PC version.
But that shit gonna look amazing though.
But but last thoughts on the 30 series cards. The reason it looks such a big upgrade is because 20 series was not a big upgrade.
My thing is, why is it the token card to fight Xbox Series X? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
Because it's just funny to go at people because that's what you guys have all been talking. Well, most of the console fanboys on Microsoft's side have been talking power.
Absolute monster.
It doesn't matter. You know what we were doing? The PC cards was the benchmark, the 20 series, right? So when you hear a console is comparable to, like, let's say at the time, like a 2080 or 2080 Super or 2070, that was interesting because you couldn't compare a fucking Xbox One or PS4 to a current card at that point in time. So with this, with the 20 series being like that measuring stick, and then the Series X obviously being the top end on the console, we were using that was being more so measured against the place where the PlayStation 5 and the Series X land, and you're looking at the NVIDIA's graphic cards as like, all right, where would it land if it was a GPU or et cetera, et cetera. So that's the only reason why that's a thing. Like, that's a thing. It's just more so to pit them against the PlayStation and the Xbox and how it compares if it was a graphics card. But you guys are running out at
Smooth. You forgot one big thing.
What's up?
Oh, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X will be just as powerful as a $900 graphic. Now it's a $300, $400, $500 one.
But that's still a $500 component versus a whole entire console.
Hey man, most people have computers. Just throw in one component.
See, I don't agree. I don't agree. I saw some people saying that this console's obsolete and PS5 and all that stuff is dead. It's like, no way. Like, more people.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense.
I guarantee you, more people buy.
First of all, Xbox has been dead even before these 30 series.
All right. Yeah. But I just find it funny because people were so keen on comparing consoles to PC hardware, and then when they get absolutely outdid by every class, they're just like, man, these hardware like.
I think it's a very sweaty way of going things about it, because like you guys you're like it's just weird. It's like, oh, so you're using these fucking next gen GPUs, these expensive ass graphic cards, and this is your battle against an Xbox that you guys already claim is like worthless. So it's like, I don't understand why waste the energy, but
but you can't compare
Smooth.
You can't
why compare your console to PC?
Yeah, you should never compare consoles to PC, because when
why did you compare it in the first place?
It depends on the PC though, because for mid-range PCs, you can compare the consoles to them.
But
for high-end,
it doesn't matter. Like,
people on the internet are the ones with the high end
in every way.
The people on the internet are the ones with the high end. So here's another thing.
Not all of them.
Here's another thing that's going to happen though. All these Sony guys talking about this SSD thing. Some new SSD technology is about to come out in the next few months that dwarfs that.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have to go through the same thing.
But I said that. But here's the thing.
You already have it. It's called RTX IO.
Yeah.
Mark Cerny already said that.
For SSD, it's a wrap.
Here's the thing. Mark Cerny already said that. He said, okay, the PS5 is the most advanced, SSD right now in the market. But he says by the time the PS5 releases, there will already be NVMe SSD that matches it or surpasses it on the market.
But let's be honest, Chris. Were you not on Twitter? Like, I've seen you on Twitter brag about that SSD though.
Here's where I agree with Chris.
Not in comparison to, it's like, oh, this is gonna be completely smoke the PCs and they're not gonna have anything comparable.
No. Chris, that's a lie. Chris, that's a lie. That's a lie.
The thing that I was comparing the SSD to was the importance of the SSD as far as game designs or what developers are gonna take it. I think people are sleeping on that.
I think people are still sleeping on it. This is being too liberal. Let me actually say what you really want to say, because here's the thing. I've said this. Look, I had a rant months ago on Planet Xbox towards the end when I said, remember when Linus pulled up that $2,000 Gen 4 SSD and really tried to say that was faster than the PS5? without understanding the fact that there's dedicated co-processors in the PS5 meant to offload the task of having your CPU try and delineate which data goes inside your GPU and which one just stays on your drive. I had that rant, right? It's an entire I/O complex built in the PS5 versus just one storage device inside the PC. And I told people, the PC currently does not have that technology on the market. If you want it, it comes at a cost. Not only are you going to have to buy a GPU that has really fast memory, which the RTX 3000 series does, but you have to have a very fast SSD with it as well. Gen 4. 1 terabyte Gen 4 SSD starts at $200. And the faster ones are even more. Not
Wait. Actually, that's not that bad. Wait, that's actually not that bad, actually.
That's $200 for 1 terabyte from a Gen 4 SSD.
No, all right. So let me wait. Well, hold on. Let me put this in perspective.
I bought 2 Gen 3 SSDs, 1 terabyte apiece.
I remember when my 1 terabyte.
Hold on. You're not keeping in mind actually. SSD prices have gone down, so
I understand
that's not even bad because. All right,
no, we're talking about Gen 4. That's the standard.
Hold on, I'm just gonna say I bought a Samsung Evo 970 that's 500 gigabytes. I bought that shit for like 140. So getting 1 terabyte of much faster SSD is actually pretty good.
Yeah, but we're talking about
Gen 4
SSDs that you have to utilize to get the
SSDs.
full I/O that you will with the PS4 and to fully actualize RTX IO.
I understand that, but you made it seem like that's so expensive when in actuality, it's
my point is
not very
$200 for an SSD, and then you have to spend about $500 on a GPU versus the cost of a PS5, which is not going to be no more than $600 allegedly. What's the argument?
Yeah, of course. If you're gonna if you have nothing,
Chris, when you try to be all liberal about that, nah, bro.
Bro, I understand.
If you get that kind of technology within the PS5 for that cheap is a bargain.
Oh yeah, no. I the price. I wasn't factoring in like the prices or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. If you're starting from nothing, obviously getting a console will be cheaper. That's obvious.
But even if you have a PC, like you're gonna want to upgrade to like the latest, SSDs alongside with these new cards because didn't NVIDIA say
Raven, I said it's not gonna be more than $600.
Let me tackle these super chats right quick. Because it's getting kind of late. Ravenflow says for $4.99, Xbox says they'll show the Xbox Series X price when they're ready. Translation: when Sony jumps, we'll remove Earth from underneath them. Wonton Soup 2 says, ask Optimus Code why he blocked me.
Oh shit! Optimus will be on his block jutsu.
You're done.
His block jutsu.
Yeah, I don't even know who's
blocking jutsu. Why he blocked? So
if I blocked you, I told you why.
Everybody should be notified once they're blocked. A notification should go up at the bottom of their screen.
I agree with Optimus, man. This whole spec talks or whatever because
Sony spec conversations are meaningless. This is a big
because games on the PS5 and the Series X, right? Especially from the first party on the Sony part, dumb shit's like some of you PC guys that get a PS5, you're gonna pop in Horizon Forbidden West and your eyes are gonna melt. You're gonna be like, holy shit, this game looks fucking insane.
Well, this dude said that the GPU alone beats the PS5 SSD. What are they talking about? No, you have to pair a Gen 4 SSD with your GPU to use RTX IO.
To get the full power of it.
You don't know what you're talking about. You clearly didn't watch the presentation.
And to get the full use of it, too. You need those
components. He probably watched it and didn't understand what happened during it.
Yeah, but I'm about ready to wrap it up. Is there, because it's 11 o'clock. My PC is probably going to shut down again because it's stupid.
Why don't you just reformat it overnight?
I don't know.
Well, Smooth, here, really quick, Smooth, I got 2 things for you. One, there probably will be a surprise announcement from Xbox about games and stuff, so don't be too discouraged. And 2, I used to work tech support. Part of my job was writing software, then the other part was being tech support. Smooth, you are not alone. There are millions of people that just don't have the aptitude to deal with PCs. Now, a lot of people on this panel obviously do, and for them, and it's real difficult for people Like when you good at something and something is easy to you, you think other people ought to be able to do it too. It's just simple. I literally had a girlfriend who could not hook up an HDMI cable to a TV, and she just didn't want to deal with it. To me, it's the simplest thing in the world.
I know where you got rid of her then.
I just gotta say, I'm relatively new to PC gaming, and I just like everything you need is on YouTube.
Some people, exactly. Some people
legitimately, you became a snob after you got on YouTube. Right?
No, I get
it is on YouTube.
Some people don't want to put in that work, honestly.
Some people don't have the willingness to learn.
Right. So Smooth, don't feel bad. You're not alone. Some people just have a high aptitude. Like for me, when I started programming computers, I just had a high aptitude for it, and there were people that had been programming longer than me, but they had learned it through discipline and teaching themselves and going to school, but I just picked it up naturally because I had an aptitude for it. And the people on this panel, they just have an aptitude for more technical things. Even if they never seen it before, once they do see it, they can adapt to it and pick it up faster. So you're not alone, although some stuff is simple, Smooth, I will say. I mean, you kind of in the middle. Some stuff I've heard you complain about that you probably could have dealt with. Some stuff I've seen you do that I was like, oh, that was actually pretty high level, and he didn't complain about it. So you kind of in the middle, but you're not by yourself, man. It's normal.
There's a lot of dumbasses out there.
Wow, that is not.
My thing is, my anger is that I don't like. Honestly, I don't like doing a whole lot of freaking working. It was a pain in the ass putting this thing together. I like the way it looks. It's cool. It's cool, like in terms of like the fans and lights and
reformatting. It doesn't need to take anything out.
That sounds like a fucking headache.
All I gotta say is YouTube.com and Google.com are your best friends.
You literally just hold down the Del key.
Just make sure you have a restore point, and then before you do all your reformatting.
All right, I'm gonna give it a try. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to Planet Xbox episode 26. We will see you next week. Hopefully, this bullshit that I'm going through will be over. Hopefully, I've done it correctly by then. But yeah. Any outros from anyone?
Make sure you guys drop a like on the stream. Subscribe to the Kiss Move. We're trying to get Kiss Move to 20K subscribers. That's the new goal. 20K subscribers.
And to get me on podcast unlocked.
Yeah, especially when that Series X drop. We should get him a lot more subscribers when he keeps on dropping that Series X content. So drop a like, sub if you guys haven't subbed. Tune into live streams. We should have more content coming out from other people as well. You guys can follow me on my YouTube channel, Dopest J. Also on Twitch, Cokeboy J. And yeah, that's it.
Smooth, you can't even use a computer. You think they're going to invite you on Podcast Unlocked?
Hey, man.
Come on.
I'm dead ass serious.
One thing at a time, bro. Like
they're not going to invite somebody who's having technical issues and can't have no technical aptitude.
I have some. I just don't have all the technical aptitude. I mean, I like how people who convert to PC game and they just get this big ass.
Nah, you know what I think? I think Smooth is just impatient.
I am.
I think that's what it is.
Smooth, Solid Rev, the biggest meathead on YouTube, learned how to build a computer.
Yeah.
You have no excuse. Zaire's dumbass got shot 9 times and crawled 9 blocks from the cops. Figured out how to build a computer.
$12,000 PC. Figure that out.
You got no excuse, though.
And you have people, even if YouTube can't fully help you, got people that'll walk you all the way through the process, bro.
So here's the even better question, right, Smooth? Mm-hmm. You're gonna be real frustrated when your kids go back to school. Because if you can't work a computer, I know damn well they can.
No, I can work a computer, and like that, I can work a computer just because I like. Come on, B, like you're making me seem like stupid. Like, come on, like yo, I got Chris, say your outro, B, before I fucking lose my fucking temper. Like,
you gonna be smashing.
Follow me on Twitter at Chris.
You gonna be smashing computers in front of these teachers.
Oh man, Jesus! All right,
bless.
Congrats on 10K. Have a good night, everybody.
And Optimus, before I let you go on the outro, over under Xbox give me some worthy announcement tomorrow.
Tomorrow, under.
He said
This month, definitely over.
Okay.
No, hold on, Optimus. But you said that last time before the July 23rd event that event was going to be some heat.
No,
that shit wasn't heat. Yeah, you did.
I said tears gonna fly, but I never said
he did say.
Nah,
that.
you hold on. You were alluding to that it was going to be like some fantastic show.
Hit me up.
He was a part of the ad campaign with
Hit me up, Chris.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed in Xbox. They still gonna get my money, but they need to show me a little bit more, man. But I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna give them a fair shot.
So why are you giving them money if they're disappointing you?
Bond, because that's what I do. I've been gaming before you was born. Gaming for me is not a
damn.
That's disgusting.
That's the OG right there.
You might find it that way. Gaming for me is not a series of logical conclusions.
Would you buy
what I do?
Would you buy food from a person that served disappointing food? I wouldn't.
Would I do what?
Would you order food from an establishment that served disappointing food? I wouldn't. And
well, that's a different thing. But
I eat food every day.
I mean, like, I do have quality experiences on my Xbox, so it's not trash. It's just not as good as the competition, and I need them to step it up. But it's not like it doesn't work. Well, actually, it didn't work.
Here's the thing: when you give somebody money for doing a less than satisfactory job, do they have any incentive to change?
Well, it depends, because if I give them my money and I'm verbally letting them know, and I'm
because you already gave them your money.
No, the console is one purchase. They still need me to buy games and to support the console.
No, they don't, because you're on Game Pass. That's all they're trying to get you to do.
No, they still want
simple solution. Why do you think the Nintendo Switch was such a 180 from the Wii U? Because nobody bought that trash. Even the staunchest Nintendo fans did not support that trash. So they had to go back to the drawing board.
I have a Wii U. I'm looking at it right now. It's still hooked up.
Switch. I will stand by the Wii U or the Switch's Wii U 2.0.
But I'm saying, you keep buying trash. You guess what? You're gonna keep eating trash.
Well, I'll buy the good stuff too, so I'm eating pretty good all around. If it's a gaming platform, I have it. It's that simple.
Okay.
Nick Banks, man. Nick Banks.
Wait, I wasn't done with my outro.
My bad, Optimus. Go ahead. My bad.
Just don't ever put me on another show with this blessed red, because he trash.
Oh, you mad? You mad?
Wait, isn't that
because you think piracy and emulation are the same thing? You mad? Oh man.
Oh man, the crayons are flying.
Have a good night, fella. Have a good night.
And Nick Banks.
Licorice crayons.
Still here or
no, he stepped out, man.
Okay.
He's in here, but he's not here.
Okay. Bond.
What's going on, everybody? Always here. I got a question, Smooth, about can I trade in my Xbox console voucher to games? Do I have to get a console?
Oh man, the Black Bomb about to have a backlog now.
No, it's supposed to be an Xbox console.
All right. Well, give me that Series S whenever it comes out. Check out Weapon Wheel Sundays at 6:30. Took a break from the post show this week. Me, Smooth, Jack, and BG got to get back on Halo. We got to finish that up.
Yeah, I do want to finish it.
I should get on Avengers.
No, I'm good.
Speaking of Avengers, I'm supposed to have a code in my email. What's going on?
Well, your computer ain't working, so.
Yeah.
Bro, don't say that, bro. This shit gonna crash again. Just chill.
Yo, Smooth, hit me up after the podcast. I got you with the whole Windows shit.
Yeah, I'm a power down my computer, give it a head start, and then I'll power it back up before I do so.
Cause there's a way you can reinstall Windows while keeping your files. It's an option to reset your PC, keep your files, but you can still move some of your critical files to another drive just in case.
It'll erase 80% of your shit. I've done it.
Word? Oh no.
Yep.
No, so you do reset PC, it reinstalls Windows, but it keeps some of your files, but I will still move some of those files to another drive.
OneDrive or some shit.
And by some, I repeat, it erased 80% of my shit.
Bro, just to be safe, move everything you want to keep on 1 or 2 drives and then unplug that shit. It's not gonna remove it if it's not plugged in.
Yeah.
Smooth, you don't have cloud backups?
I do. I have OneDrive and Google Drive.
But with all of your stuff on it.
Only stuff like photos and like documents and shit.
Damn, dudes are already putting up $1,000
like your OBS shit. Like your OBS shit, you definitely want to put in like OneDrive.
Nah, fuck OBS. I'm just trying to forget because OBS stopped working for me. If you don't.
Well, not even just OBS, but like your podcast templates and stuff like that.
Yeah. Let me throw that in OneDrive right now, man.
Yeah, throw all that stuff in OneDrive, like all that stuff that you need that's critical for you live streaming. Back that up easily.
Yeah.
Recycle.
I'll catch you guys later.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to Planet Xbox episode 26. We'll see you guys next week. As always, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night.